go to your Shiites and get them straightened out, or to the Sunnis, or divide the oil. And Maliki is saying there isn't any group here that wants to talk about those things. Even the division of the country, they want to put down 18 months along the trail. Those are not our timetables. Those are Iraqi timetables. So if there's going to be some intersection, it has to be politically to strengthen at least whoever is there, and Maliki for the time being is the guy.
Senator Levin, excuse me, there are a variety of ideas out there about what conceivably could be done to change the situation, to make it better. We've assembled at least part of the menu, and let's put it up on the screen. Partition of the country into 3 autonomous regions with a weak central government, a phased withdrawal starting right away, allowing the Iraqi military to stage a coup and install a different leader, a strong man, and sending in still more U.S. troops. You know, like a Chinese restaurant, Senator Levin, what would you order from that menu?
Well, what I would do is what a number of us have been proposing for a long time, what 40 of us, all the Democrats and 1 Republican in the Senate voted for, which is to notify the Iraqi leaders that we're going to begin a phased withdrawal by the end of the year. That's not immediately, it's not precipitous. It's to tell them that they've got to take hold of their own nation. And what the president told Maliki on the phone just a week ago, it was not whispered to him. We were informed as the American public what the president told Maliki a week ago, which is, you have our full support. He pledged full support to Maliki. That is the wrong way to go. That's not pressure on Maliki. That's an unconditional statement of support. What we need to do is put pressure on the Iraqis to do what only they can do, which is to make the political compromises on power and on oil resources so that they can become a nation. If they don't want to do that, if they're going to have a civil war, we have to tell them, you're going to do that without us. But we have got to begin to leave Iraq, not precipitously, not cut and run, but by the end of the year.
Senator Warner, and we're about to run out of time in this segment, but let me just ask you to respond to that. I mean, you talk about getting tough with Maliki and putting pressure on him. Would announcing we're going to begin, not you know, a timetable and we're going to get them all out by July, but we're going to begin pulling troops out, would that send the right message?
No, I think not. We should not set timetables. We should not indicate a fixed lock-in, because the situation is very dynamic. It's gotten worse. It's gotten fractured. You've got Shia on Shia now, Sunni on Sunni, Al-Qaeda moving into El Anbar. This is a fragile situation. We've got to remain confident that we can make this government work. Not victory this Saturday. Make the government work so it can exercise the levers of sovereignty. One other pressure on Maliki came this week. I admire General Caldwell, who stood up before the world.
Chief spokesman for U.S. forces in Iraq.
And he said it's disheartening that the Baghdad campaign, one in which we put 12,000 troops, one in which we expected the Iraqi armed forces to send 4 battalions, they only sent 2. Our military is being very frank and credible with the Iraqi government and Maliki. Get rid of those militias now, not tomorrow, now.
Senators, we need to take a break here, but when we come back, North Korea and the bomb. Is diplomacy the answer? And what's really at stake in the November election? We'll be back in a moment.
Fox News Sunday with Chris Wallace, sponsored in part by Americans for Balanced Energy Choices. Learn about clean coal technology at learnaboutcoal.org.
Kids are just better with technology than their parents. Like, by the time I graduate from college, we'll be building clean coal power plants that are pollution-free, and that includes greenhouse gases. Go here, they'll explain it.
Introducing the new HP Blade System C-Class with Thermalogic, Virtual Connect, and Insight Control, powered by dual-core Intel Xeon processors. Now you can contain the chaos and set IT free to drive your business.
Unlock the doors when her dress and keys are inside. Got an email from her car. Contacted help when his son stopped breathing. Helped find his dream car after it was stolen. even when his cell phone couldn't. Choose a Chevy with OnStar.
In navigating towards retirement, there are many courses you can take, and Pacific Life can help you reach your goals. With over 135 years of experience, Pacific Life offers a wide range of financial solutions. Approach the future with confidence. Ask your financial professional about Pacific Life. Pacific Life, the power to help you succeed.
So my room can get a little dirty, but at least my environment's getting cleaner. Like, did you know that even though the use of coal to generate electricity has tripled since 1970, emissions, they're down 35%. Here, check it out.
Only one series has critics everywhere on the edge of their seats.
It's just the beginning. Now it gets a little more interesting.
Prison Break returns with all new episodes at 8, 7 Central tomorrow on Fox.
And we're back now with Senators Lugar, Biden, Warner, and Levin to talk about North Korea and other trouble spots. Senator Levin, you and Senator Biden have called for the U.S. to have direct one-on-one talks with Kim Jong-il and the regime in North Korea. But when you see what's happened this week, where the Chinese sent a top diplomat to deliver a very strong message to the North Korean regime, isn't it just possible that the president's diplomatic approach is in fact working?
Well, we obviously want to work with the Chinese, and we want to try to do anything we can to get the Chinese and the Russians to put some pressure on North Korea, obviously, but that is not inconsistent with our having direct talks with the North Koreans. As a matter of fact, the Chinese and the South Koreans, our allies in South Korea, want us to have one-on-one direct discussions with the North Koreans. That can be part of a multilateral strategy. It's not inconsistent to say that we want to keep our group together and we want to coordinate with the South Koreans and the Russians and the Chinese to say that we also, since they want us to talk to the North Koreans and the North Koreans want to talk to us, to have discussions with the North Koreans. There's no inconsistency. It's another false choice which the president has presented to the American people. We either have to go it alone with North Korea or we have to work with the other countries that have the same position we do. Well, there's a third approach here, which is as part of a coordinated strategy that we talk with the North Koreans and obviously coordinate the message. And we don't have to give them anything, but one-on-one discussions would be fruitful here, and we ought to do it in conjunction and coordination with our friends and allies.
But Senator Lugar, isn't that in fact what we already have? Hasn't the U.S. already agreed? And in fact, haven't we had bilateral talks on the side of the six-party talks? And does it make sense, in the end, can the U.S. really accomplish anything with North Korea, or in effect, do we have to make it a regional problem with the neighbors like Japan and South Korea and China getting involved, all countries that have a lot more leverage with Pyongyang than we do?
Well, it's very important we have all of the countries. But my gut feeling is at the end of the day, and I don't know which day, which week, there will be an American presence talking to the great leader and his people and saying, in essence, in terms that they understand, we are not going to overthrow you. We are not involved in regime change. You're going to stay. Now, the problem is, how do we work then with the Chinese to continue to get you the fuel and the food? How do we work with the South Koreans so there's some trade, some outlet for you? But in essence, we're for real, and we want you to dismantle whatever you're doing at Pyongyang, and quite apart from anything in the nuclear, highly enriched uranium, and some verification of this. But that's the deal.
But you're suggesting, Senator Lugar, a stepped-up bilateral conversation between the U.S. and North Korea.
I believe that is going to happen. I hope it happens sooner rather than later. But I think that it is inevitable if this is to be dissolved diplomatically. Otherwise, we're going to face problems as the Japanese become more militant. The South Koreans go through all sorts of gyrations in their policy. The Russians sort of stand aside, tweaking the lion's tail. This is going to be a mess. It's useful to have everybody there, and the Chinese especially, because they really have a stake in it every day.